I have with me Dan Bognar. He's Executive Vice President, Solutions Engineering for Salesforce for APAC and International. Great to have you with us at this Tech Circle Salesforce event. So Dan, just, one of the things that we've seen in our research and when we talk to your customers, this path of digital transformation, it's all pervasive. Mm-hmm. And one of the challenges which we always observe and see is the balancing act between the needs of customers and the needs of the employees. And what have you folks observed, and how is Salesforce helping its customers through this sort of balancing act and through this journey?
So that's a really interesting question you've asked, because it cuts across a number of dimensions. I think from a customer and employee standpoint, one of the things that we've really tried to inspire our customers about is to realize at the end of the day, the technology that customers use is the same, or should be the same rather, as a technology that employees use. I think historically, for most employees, what that's meant is in their homes they use mobile devices that are mobile, that are personal, that know where they are. Yet when they come into the office, they use applications that have none of those characteristics. And so what we've been trying to do is bring some of that consumer-grade technology to the enterprise to make it easier for employees. And the thinking there is that if we can improve employee engagement and improve employee productivity, that will then have a flow-on effect around customer experience.
That's a great segue into a follow-on question I have, in a sense, which is that, research suggests that 80% of customers say that the experience they have in engaging with a company is kind of as important as the product or the service that they buy. And that's a significant shift from the past. So who should own this experience? That's the key question here, isn't it?
Right. Look, I think we all own that experience. I mean, I think that the reality of where we're at today is we are in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution. Mm-hmm. And in that revolution, everyone is connected and everything is connected. And I think that consumers today have more power and more influence, and in some respects higher expectations than they've ever had before. The reality is, for many consumers, our mobile phone is how we expect to engage with brands around the world. And we have an expectation that the experience is going to be personalized. We have an experience that it's going to be targeted at our needs. And importantly, it's one that is going to be digital based. And I think that what we're seeing is in the fourth industrial revolution is that organizations are really needing to step up to meet the customer expectation. In many respects, it will become, and is today, the basis by which organizations differentiate.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, what we're also seeing now as this new revolution progresses, by 2025, 90% plus 95% of customer interactions with a company are going to be touched by AI. Some would say governed by AI, right? So we're all seeing that. Yes. So I'm curious to know, how are you folks as Salesforce preparing for this? What are you doing to retool and help your customers through this transition?
So there's no doubt that artificial intelligence is going to be the next wave of the fourth industrial revolution. From a Salesforce perspective, our role has always been to take technology that we see in the consumer world and really bring that to the enterprise. And so what that means from an AI perspective is a number of years ago we started an initiative that we call Salesforce Einstein, which is effectively our artificial intelligence and analytics platform. And there's a number of really exciting new areas of innovation which we're bringing to market. At Dreamforce last year, we announced a new initiative called Einstein Voice. This is the ability for Salesforce to talk to you, and you can now talk to Salesforce.
So when you think about the geography that you cover as part of your mandate, where do you see India in this as part of relative to other countries in APAC? Are you seeing your customers adapting it here? And just as a part B to that,
sure.
I know that you folks have just launched your financial services sort of vertical here. And when you think about bots and so on, the first thing which comes to mind is the bank websites.
Yes.
So is there adoption happening there as well?
Sure.
What, yeah.
So there's a couple of parts to that question. So I think one of the reasons I love coming to India is I find the India customer to be highly innovative and often dealing with scale and complexity that other countries in Asia Pacific or the world for that matter just aren't dealing with. And a great example is some research that we recently did tells us that India organizations are the most progressive when it comes to their use of artificial intelligence as well as chatbots. So in the research that we did in India, 46% of organizations that we surveyed in India are making extensive use of artificial intelligence, and 40% of organizations that we surveyed are using bots in deployment today. And we found that penetration here in India more so than anywhere else in the world. So that's just a really great example.
Okay.
From a financial services standpoint, absolutely, that is a new go-to-market for us in India. We're very committed to the financial services sector. The financial services cloud that we've been bringing to India is effectively a pre-packaged CRM application that's been specifically built from the ground up for financial services. So that you may be in wealth management, you might be in retail banking, you might be in corporate banking, but the needs of the customer is really very similar to what we've been talking about. They all want a digital, connected and personalized experience. And the financial services really provides the basis for that. And the financial services cloud allows those customers to deploy the capability very quickly because it leverages pre-built, best-in-class financial services functionality.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks for your time, Jaideep.
Cheers.
Thank you.